Cheers. Happy Hobbit Day. Happy Hobbit Day. Happy Hobbit Day. And happy Hobbit Day to you. This year, for the annual celebration that I know we all participate in, I'm going to be making the sweetest little Hobbit door wreath. I know this is a well-trod DIY, but I'm adding a little seasonal twist to it. It's not summer anymore, it's September, baby. And you know what September is? Hobbit season. Yeah! Without further ado, let's get started on the design process. I'm in a rotten, terrible mood, so I don't want to talk that much right now. The horrors. So I have two little acrylic hoops that I got from Daiso. They're just used for bags. I'm just going to use one. I want this to feel like a cottage, so I'm thinking bricks or stonework or something. That's what I'm going to figure out on the page. But I also want to add harvest stuff. Gourds. There will be green, obviously. Honestly, Stardew Valley's like... So I'm gonna do 3 designs, either choose the one I like the best, merge the things that I like the most out of all of them. I don't think there's anything else I need to say. Do you like my dread shirt? I love fish. I don't eat fish.
Let's move on from that shocking revelation. So on this beautiful Thursday evening, I was having a cheeky little breakdown. And I know some people can channel their angst into art, but for me, I kind of have to be of sound mind to make something that I like. So I knew I didn't want just a door and a doorknob, although I definitely knew that I wanted the doorknob in the center per Tolkien's specific instructions. So here I am drawing and erasing and drawing and erasing. But if you're like me, and sometimes your head just isn't in the game, that's okay. We're gonna get halfway through planning, then give up and go to sleep.
I don't know if anyone else experiences this, but sometimes when I have a bunch of vague elements that I think would go together really easily in my head, I assume that that means I have a fully realized concept in my mind, but that's not the case. I just have a bunch of elements like a stone circle, a barn door, pumpkins somewhere. So when I put pencil to paper, it doesn't go as smoothly as I think it is. And then also when I was doing that, I was just like really stressed and anxious anyway, so I couldn't think, I couldn't focus, you know? Now I'm fine. I'm chilling now. Irrelevant. There. This is the final sketch that I have. I don't know if you can tell, but this, I'm trying to show how I want it to be 3D, and I want to have a tiny little platform stick out. Right now, I'm gonna grab some cardboard from my bin. And I'm gonna try to build what I'm imagining in my head and just see if it'll even work in the first place. So let's do that. And if you're wondering what kind of delicious autumnal beverage I'm sipping on today, it's Flat Bear.
So while Scout of the Past builds up the main structure, I want to answer a burning question I know you have right now. What the heck is Hobbit Day? Well, September 22nd isn't just the equinox, autumnal or vernal, it's the day of Bilbo and Frodo Baggins' shared birthday, and also Bilbo's party, wherein the first Lord of the Rings book begins. Actually, my dog Patty's birthday is also on September 22nd. Patty Baggins. It took me an embarrassing amount of time to figure out how to make the awnings. Like, I make awnings all the time in Minecraft. This should be easy for me. Despite being a Kiwi, despite regularly driving through Matamata, the site of the fabled Hobbiton movie set, despite growing up interested in dragons and magic and wizards, I didn't read any Tolkien until I started the Odyssey that is the Lord of the Rings like a few years ago. Obviously, it rocked my world. If I think about the ending of Return of the King too hard, I will start crying. In fact, just after finishing the book, I went to a karaoke bar and I started crying to the song Viva la Vida by Coldplay. Because I was thinking about how much Frodo sacrificed for everyone else and was eternally broken by his journey, and how much Sam continued to love him, and I cannot speak on this topic. We need to get back to the video. The cardboard construction was looking good, so of course I immediately got distracted and popped the clay out. I started working on some decor items. Since I made those coasters last time, I've been like fiending for another chance to mess with clay. I made this tiny mailbox, which is so cute, and I was genuinely quite impressed with myself. I've not done that much sculpting, but I think it turned out quite swimmingly. And while I'm still getting used to September being the autumnal month, it's so weird, But I'm embracing it, and I'm embracing gourds. Of course, we got our classic regular orange pumpkin, and then a butternut pumpkin, which I think Americans don't have, but it's just like it tastes like a pumpkin. And then I tried to sculpt a kamokamo, which is I don't know if it's native to New Zealand, but kamokamo is the Maori word for it, and it's kind of like in between a courgette and a pumpkin. And I think that's beautiful.
Okay, so I'm having a bit of a conundrum. Let me talk it out with you. So this is where I'm at so far. I was actually gonna use this foam board that I have, and I thought that this would be more sturdy and durable. But I started using this because, I don't know, I was nervous. I always get nervous about stuff I've never done before, so I wanted to do like a test run, like a draft basically. But I like how it looks, so I'm just gonna keep on using this. My conundrum is that I don't really know how to and then what, you know? And then what? Oh, and I also have to, maybe I'll do that with clay. I have to figure out how to make the shelf. So the plan now, I'm gonna work on the structure. I'm gonna sand this down, glue it onto the cardboard, make some kind of platform. I think I'm gonna put clay over the top of this. Something at this point? Nah, I can do that at the end.
As I got to sanding and gluing that evening, I really did not have a clear plan for the wreath aspect of this wreath project. Sounds a bit silly in hindsight, but I thought maybe I'd sculpt some big stones directly onto the ring with clay, and then I got worried about the clay coming off, and then I just didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do, and I didn't figure this out until kind of right at the end of this project, so I just left it for now. I then worked on the stone platform and wedged the door into the platform so it would fit with glue later. I was a bit stressed about the clay shrinking, but it still fit after drying. I needed the platform, of course, because where else would I put my gourds? I then had the genius idea of adding slip directly onto the cardboard to create a cob wall texture. Mixed media, baby!
Okay, so I did a bunch of other stuff. I really hope that this front porch thing works out okay, and I hope that it works. So tomorrow, gluing, painting, hoping, wishing, the rest of it. Good morning. It's 2 p.m. now. I made this little ladder. You can see it's coated with hot glue. That's on purpose. It wasn't at first, but now it's on purpose. I'm gonna paint the actual toothpicks brown, and then I'm gonna try to paint all of these green so it looks like it's overgrown greenery. I'm procrastinating because I'm nervous about painting. I don't know why I like painting. Okay, let me grab my paints.
I started painting with a dark, deep purpley brown because I wanted the weathering and cracks and crags to all pop. I covered the cob with a medium brown, which was too dark at first, so I just kind of kept on layering various beiges, oranges, and browns over it until I got the color that I liked. This is generally my painting method for things like this. I just keep putting more and more acrylic paint over it until the perfect shade appears. I don't think it's very good to have many layers of acrylic paint over certain things, but it worked out for this project. Once I had a base coat or 2 or 3 done on the building, I started working on the details. I have really shaky and unstable hands. I tried putting some sticky tack on a toothpick so I could reach all the areas while painting without yeeting these shrooms into oblivion, and it sort of worked, but I also sort of spent the whole time figuring out how to hold it. And then I revolutionized using clay slip once again to act as the mortar between the bricks instead of just using paint or something, and it worked so well. It looked so unbelievably good.
I got all of the painting done. I added some really fun details. This fucking platform still wet. I have like that super glossy sealant that I've used before. I bought the matte version. I find with like small model things, I don't like it when everything has the same texture, so I'm hoping that like using the gloss on some of the wooden stuff and using the matte on, for example, the bricks will make it look a little bit better. I definitely have to seal this because cardboard and air dry clay is the least weatherproof combination of things possible. I still don't really know how I'm gonna do this outer wreath bit, but look at it so far. Ah! Progress update. I'm sick again. To soothe and to ease my soul and my whole brain. It's not COVID this time, which is awesome. Sorry, yeah, to soothe my soul, I'm drinking this lemon salad drink. Let's do a review for old time's sake. Juice box review. It's not as sour as I thought it would be. It tastes more like there's like 4 slices of it's supposed to be lemon. The fuck? I don't know where I last video showed you guys on a video. I don't know. I want to show you the thing that I am most happy with because I think it was like an unplanned miracle. Why does it sound like an unexpected pregnancy? Instead of using something normal like super glue, I used hot glue and it got everywhere, and then I was like, oh my god, it looks like vines, and it does! Look at that shit! I'm really proud of this tiny ladder. Where am I going in life? Another update, I painted the front porch. Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? It's just like grey. It kind of slots in like this. There is a little bit of wiggling. I'm just gonna hot glue it and hope for the best. Sorry, I know I'm supposed to be talking, just hold on 1 second. What was I talking about? This is supposed to be a wreath? I don't really have wreath. I'm just gonna glue a bunch of shit together today. I don't know how much of that I'm gonna show to you guys. I don't know how much you want to see me gluing shit together. I suppose you do. You're watching this video, right? I'm sorry, this place is a mess. I'm not tidying it. Let's get started. Let's get started. Don't pity me, okay? Don't pity me. I never wash my hands.
Now it finally comes time to glue the front doorstep onto the door. I filled the trough ditch with like mountains of hot glue and then piped more hot glue into every crevice I could. I tried making the hot glue that came out kind of look like stones, and then I painted over it when it was dried, except for the front where I smoothed it out while it was still hot. I don't recommend touching hot glue before it cools, but I have burnt my fingertips in stupid ways so many times that I don't really feel burn on them anymore. Anyway, I glued this sheet of grass to the awning, and then I decided to cut out 1 million tiny autumn leaves. I don't know why I thought I needed exactly 1 million, but it was too many. And now finally it's time to assemble everything. My rattly bones came back into play and made this difficult and unaesthetic, and I was really stressed because super glue is not very forgiving of mistakes, so forgive my shakiness. But seeing everything come together was really exciting, and looking back at the footage, it's still making me smile. The final step in this project, which should have been the first step in this project, was figuring out what to do with the wreath. Eventually, I just gunked on a bunch of white glue, smushed in some maybe fake, maybe real moss onto the ring, and that was that. Okay, before the reveal, I just have to make sure that everything is properly secured, so don't worry about it. And now, little hobbits, it's time for a story. The end. Now, are you sleepy yet? Alright, we're gonna have to get out the big guns. I'm going to read you my favorite book. It's called The Hobbit. In a hole in the ground, there lived a hobbit. Not a nasty, dirty, wet hole filled with the ends of worms and an oozy smell, nor yet a dry, bare, sandy hole with nothing in it to sit down on or to eat. It was a hobbit hole, and that means comfort. It had a perfectly round door like a porthole, painted green. This is the same cup of coffee as from the intro. Wrap up time. What went well? What didn't go well? Let's talk about it. It's so fucking cute. It's so cute. I think I kind of went into this project with a general idea and just a confidence that I could make my dreams come true. And I think I did. I think this is really adorable. All of the little accidents and the little experiments that I tried worked out perfectly. I'm so happy because God knows I've had plenty of projects where that was not the case. I think I have sealed every inch of this, but I am still very nervous about putting it outside my front door. I might have to put it on the inside of my door, but we'll see. It is a little bit grubby looking. Like the textures are a little bit, I really committed to the weathering. I could have figured out how to make the wreath area more bulky, and I think that would have improved the kind of the weight of it a little bit, not the physical weight, but just like the visual weight of it. If I had some bushes here, wider border around the door itself. Also, I just found this in my electronics box. Let me show you 1 second. Like, it was just in there and it fit pretty, I mean, it is a little bit too big. It's a bit cartoonish sized, but I love it. I just want to keep talking about this thing because I love it so much.